Dr. Mark Adams, we'll start with you. Columbia Orthopaedic Group decided to get in on this, and just maybe the decision why you decided to get in.
Well, it was an easy decision, Bo. We've been in the community a long, long time, and we've pretty much always supported the Columbia Public Schools. But I have to tell you, it at times was pretty haphazard how we did it. We had, and a lot of times it came down to our donations or our support, whoever hit us first, whatever team or whichever activity hit us first, or we would have parents who had children on teams. So one year the band might get some money from us, the next year it would be football, and so it was very haphazard, and this was a very nice way to streamline our support and to give the decision making as to where the money went back to the people who knew it better than we did, and that's back to the school system and back to the athletic directors, and let them direct it.
And one of the things that's been great with this, I'm sure that you'll agree, is that your name has been on a scoreboard. You've been in the programs. There's been a lot of advertising and marketing dollars spent by you, but also you're seeing the payback from this program.
Yeah, I think so. It's hard to measure payback on advertising very much, and I'm not very good at that. But I just know it's something we've had payback by having a better public school. I think by having it, the Columbia Public Schools have always been just a wonderful place, and we've always wanted to help support them. And this was a way to get our payback by having better schools for our kids and more activities, and not having the young kids losing activities and all too.
And Mark, I'm sure that you probably felt the same way. And when you were thinking to jump in on this, you already had athletic trainers at the football games and at sporting events, but this was a way to kind of gel everything, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It really gave us a chance to even do more than we were doing for the public schools. I mean, through our athletic trainers teaching, covering of the games and everything. That was always been happening. We've been doing that for years, but this was a chance for us to jump in even more. For instance, on our the video boards, this year we actually were able to make PSAs versus just an advertisement, which I didn't really want to do just an ad, something crazy like that. And like Dr. Adams said, it's hard to measure what you're going to get out of that. But by having Greg and Stephanie do a PSA that was shown at games, we were able to deliver a message for wellness out to our parents and other players and actually opposing teams. So they got to see that too. So, this is a really dynamic way for us to be involved and to support, an organization that we've been supportive of in my career since 1991. So.
I would imagine, Mark, too, one of the things that is neat about it is the fact that you can think out of the box too, because you got the video boards now and you have other ways rather than just strictly a program or just a schedule card.
Yeah, it was really fun. And I would say fun. I wasn't the one in front of the camera, but I got with Bruce and we got with Colin and we got with the staff here with the CPS, and we were able to film in the green room. And I think maybe it was the first ones they did in the new building, the new Aslan building. So we really got to think outside the boxes. I really didn't want to do just a traditional ad to put up on the board. I wanted them to send a message, and I think Justin got to see some of those. You're probably in the locker room, maybe you didn't get to see it, but Greg got a lot of airtime at the game, so it was probably, to me, it was more valuable than to just stick our logo up somewhere. I mean, it's still great to have the logo on the board, but that PSA was I think was a really neat addition.
And Mark, I would imagine as a business owner who's part of this partnership, that's one of the things you like to see.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously, the more people that come out, see the school, they see the teams, the coaches, and they see the billboard, and they see the program. So there's a payback to everybody. But I mean, all three schools, like Adam said, have made some great improvements. And I mean, from me, from the medical standpoint, and sports medicine standpoint, all three schools now have great sports medicine facilities to treat the athletes, and are getting care that used to be only available at colleges and pros. So, I mean, that's the community's gonna benefit, and obviously then from a business standpoint, we will as well.
Dr. Adams, why don't you speak on that as well, considering you've been on the sidelines for a long time at many high school sporting events.
Well, one of the things that gets lost here is Columbia is a very vibrant community, and you think about it, it's not just high schools we're talking about. We've got colleges, we've got Mizzou, we've got Columbia College, we've got Stevens, we've got any number of other people that are coming to you for money too. And from a business perspective, I hate to tell you, they've always had professional fundraisers and coming after you, and the public schools sometimes were last on the list because you got hit by professional development people from the colleges around. We want to be a part of all of those things. So I think putting it on a business standpoint helps me as a business person, and putting it to where it's got a framework, it's got advertising involved, it's got a plan so that it's going to the right people. And then from us standing on the sideline, we know we're going to get the resources we need down there. You've got, and this Columbia Public Schools have always been great about that, but the resources are now a little bit more focused, and each team has some coverage and everything. I know the athletic trainers have been a vibrant part, not only from the teaching perspective and the coverage perspective and all. They're integrated into the school very closely. It's just not Friday nights that the trainers show up or the doctors show up. We're there, and it just gives us a little bit more of a business stake in the activities too.
And that's one of the things, and one of the big parts of this has been the public and private working together. And you have people like Columbia College and Brenda and Tom with MFA, and maybe you all can talk about when they came to you, when Kelly Sports Properties came to you and said, we have this kind of radical idea. What was your thought, Brenda, when they came to you and said, we're thinking outside the box, would you be on board with this?
Well, first of all, we love to think outside of the box too. So it was very attractive to us for a number of reasons. We're all about education, and when they came to us and said certainly it was supporting the athletics, we know that academics is also an important part of that. We also have some pretty great athletic teams over at Columbia College, and we have a lot of students in the Columbia Public School system, whether they're parents, staff, potential students on down the road. So we never really looked at it as an advertising opportunity. We really did come into it as a partner and wanted to certainly support the program that was being brought to us, but we appreciated the openness of the partnership opportunities so that we could certainly benefit from the benefits that were being offered, but also expand upon that and try to be able to reach out and support not just athletics, but doing Friday folders for the elementary schools, trying to support career days at the middle schools, just different things that we could do. Having our admissions counselors be able to attend some of the athletic events, that's a win-win for all of us. We're able to support the community, and that's what we really saw in this partnership.
And with that being community driven, like Columbia College does so much in the community, MFA Oil does too, Tom, and I'm sure that you guys were happy to hop on board with this.
Absolutely. And we do a lot of advertising like that with Columbia College. We advertise on the scoreboards there. Central Missouri State, we advertise with their stadium and everything like that as well. So it really came pretty natural for us. It was pretty personal for me. I had a son who was in the class that didn't get to participate in basketball and track when that was eliminated. And so, that was a problem. I have a daughter who runs cross country, and they're wearing some pretty ratty uniforms. We have a large community here. We have a great community here, and so those kids need to walk out on the field, whatever they're participating in, and be proud of what they're doing. And part of that is walking out there in a uniform that they can be proud to represent their community. So I think that's important. I think that the advertising portion for us is beneficial because you get name recognition looking outside. I'm proud to see the MFA Oil name out there and being a partner with Columbia Public Schools. And I think that those funds going back to those programs is a big deal. And it's great to see these facilities as nice as they are.